Hey, you are along for the ride with the Mad Dog and Cole. I got this. Farrell.
Podcast when you have a lot to say and nothing to talk about.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Evil Knievel, for those inspiring words. Flying through the air, living in the sunlight, and enjoying life. Man, we all need to take just a little time, live in the sunlight, and enjoy life. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And the reason we can enjoy life is because of the brave men and women of this country, our men and women of our armed forces, our first responders. As we get closer here to Veterans Day, want to make sure to be so thankful here at the podcast for all those brave Americans that let us do what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And a huge shout out to the families of those who gave all, the KIA, families. Thank you. We appreciate it. Great respect. And speaking of being thankful, man, we are so thankful for our incredible partners, great companies like Kicker Performance Audio. Find them online, kicker.com, on Instagram at Kicker Audio, and on YouTube at Kicker Unmasked Live for their informative TV show every other Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time, and that's on their YouTube channel and their Facebook.
Might even catch Lauren on there.
It's happened before for sure. Super grateful for our friends over at Kicker Performance Audio. We'll get into some more Kicker stuff in a bit. Of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear. Over 40 styles to choose from. And I don't even know how many lens options. Man, you can get everything from the gold. Did you see they just released a new gold?
I did. It's a
Ooh,
slick looking line.
yeah.
Might have to
It's
get
pretty
my
cool.
paws on some of those.
Yes, for sure. We'll have to put a call in. Um, man, to these, I wear the Boogie Bombs, and the current ones that I've been favoring are the Blue Ice Anti Glare Polarized. And guess what? They are ANSI 87 OSHA approved safety lenses also. And these glasses are tough. Tommy and the gang working so hard to be the blue jeans of sunglasses where everybody should have 10 pairs or 12 pairs. Man, check them out, bombereyewear.com or on Instagram at bombereyewear. Of course, our boy Cole at the Premix Podcast, sharing his passion for all things desert racing through the lens of the camera, and also doing MC work, event announcer work, just about any kind of work like that, voiceover work. Um, Feel free to slide into his DMs at the Premix Podcast on Instagram and get booked for next year. He is booked for this year. If you have plans for later this year, you lost.
Call me after Christmas, bro.
Get on it now. Find him, the at symbol, THEPREMIXPODCAST on Instagram. That's at the Premix.
That's it. That's my
Yep.
page. This is all staying in, by the way.
That's awesome. At the Premix Podcast. Of course, Kelsey Morrell Film, bringing our crazy dreams to visual reality, working our way through all these podcasts, getting them up on our Mad Dog Media YouTube channel under Mad Dog Media, and Also, now YouTube podcasts. Check her out on Insta at Kelsey Morel Film for all your film, video, photo, editing, filming, commercial making, whatever you need. Hit her up. And of course, Hey Geeks Marketing. You need a website. You need help with your social media. You need somebody to manage your social media. You need an influencer campaign done, or you need an event or a wedding planned, promoted, and handled. Yell, Hey Keeks. Hey Keeks Marketing. Find her on the web, heykeeks.com, or on Insta at Hey Keeks Marketing. Made it through that. Whew, man, barely. So, yeah, man, what a great episode. Last couple of episodes we've had, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
awesome back-to-back guests. Back to back
yeah,
to back guests.
for sure. For sure. It's been a blast and had so much fun last week with Scotty D, and I actually was able to get out and have dinner with him.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And went to this little place right by the hotel up there in Prescott Valley, and waitress was super cool, service was good, food was good, and they brought me. Of course, he had to make a point. It was my birthday weekend,
Yep.
and they let me choose any dessert I wanted, so I chose the baked chocolate chip cookie with ice cream and chocolate drizzle
Sounds like it's
and
right
whipped
up your
cream.
alley, huh?
Dude, it was bomb. It was so good. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is awesome. And pardon my voice, folks, but I have got the I don't know what you'd call it, the Prescott something or other. Um, every year when I go to Prescott Valley in the fall, the my allergies go absolutely crazy. And once I get back down here in the desert or to my next destination, usually takes me somewhere between 3 and 5 days to kind of recover. Um, Gets up into my sinuses, and it's just no fun.
The
Just no fun
damn
at all.
Prescott pollen. The curse of
Prescott
the Prescott
pollen.
pollen.
Yeah, well said, man. You are. No wonder you're a professional announcer.
Because I come up with dumb stuff on the fly.
Just like that, boom, shakalaka. Nah, that's awesome. And of course, I rolled up there Thursday, and I think we covered that in the last podcast. And got there, got in Friday, got things set up, and got the razor out, which I think I talked about getting the build done for SEMA for that. I figured since it was an indoor event that I would go ahead and bring it out and display it, play it with the new speakers and the new and show it off with the new interior and everything. And huge shout out to several people who have helped us out with that build, and helped me out, my good personal friends. Thank you, Dustin, over at Pro Armor. They put up some great quality stuff, and you'll see more of it next week on my social media and the AFTR social media, as we do a proper release of the vehicle or unveil of the Polaris Razor at SEMA.
Sweet.
Yeah, but special thanks, Dustin, Pro Armor. Of course, my guys Marcelo and Dawn over at Assault. Rock solid dudes, great friends. And of course, my dude, Rotation Motorsports, BC Vought, and Corey Ellis at GBC Tires for putting the tire package together. That thing is looking sick on the new Parallax by GBC. Um, those things are insane. I literally am like itching to get it out in the dirt and test them out.
See, I can't remember if we've given this part away or not. Just in case, I won't say who, but those wheels that are going on that car, or I should say that are on the car, are
Yes.
redonkulous.
Yeah, and that's our good buddy Glenn Merchant over at Metal FX. And contrast cut deltas, bead locks in a 15. So
So rad.
yeah, it was quite the job mounting those tires up. Those Parallax GBC Parallax tires, man, they are stout. Um, and so getting those mounted on the wheels, doing it in my kitchen,
Got to use a bucket.
yeah, and then getting the, of course, setting all the bead locks down and the torque process on that, which they're a well built wheel, man. They're a well built wheel. Not once was I worried about pulling threads. Um, Super well built. Great job, Metal FX. Um, Man, it was just doing the roundy round crossity cross. Um, at I think it was 10 pounds, 13 pounds, 15 pounds, and 17-pound finals. So it my arms got a workout, even though it wasn't a lot of uh, resistance. It was a lot of motion. So
Yeah, yep. And at least they're not like those Chinese wheels where you put one side on and then it slips, and then you go the other side and it slips, and then you end up chasing the tire around the wheel for 30
yeah,
minutes. Yeah. Or and then you go to seat it down and then you snap a bolt anyway. So yeah,
yeah,
you're working with a
no,
quality
these
product.
high quality made in America stuff. So um super stoked at the way it came out. Gator Wraps did a beautiful job on the wrap, which we saw at Sand Sports Super Show. Um and it's pretty crazy to think that 5 days before it was on display in Prescott Valley, it was a completely stripped, including the back half of the cage missing, um, in my carport here at the lake. So down on the river. So um, I have some time into it, but I'm damn proud of the way it came out.
I'd say it's
Uh,
worth it.
yeah, I've got some nice, if you get to SEMA and you check it out. Um, Look for a few little details that I may have thrown in that might surprise some people. So
But don't touch.
yeah, yeah.
Don't even
No,
point.
nah, it's all good. It's all good. Hop in and crank it up, but only for a second, because um, SEMA is really picky about their audio levels.
Yeah, they got to be like that.
Yeah, yeah,
How you keep the riffraff out?
yeah. Well, I usually end up with a warning every year that I'm there. So
A
I
warning is
don't know.
just that. It's a warning,
Yeah,
not a
yeah. It's just like
violation.
chill, just chill.
Just
Yeah,
knock it
okay.
off.
I will for like whatever,
So
half
you
an hour.
walk away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just have to shorten your demo times, your
Yep.
audio demos, so
Do
they
it
can't
short and
track it
intense.
down. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So now, and we'll get more on to SEMA in just a minute, but yeah, man, Prescott Valley, that Finlay Toyota Center, um, such a nice facility. The crew there is amazing. It was great to see them all, and everybody's asking if they can help and chip in. Um, it was really cool. And the other really neat thing is it's one of the few events that I get to do with my buddy Jay from Law Tigers,
Oh, yep, yep.
and he's a super great guy, and you can follow his travels uh, at Law Tigers Arizona, um, on Insta, and but super great dude. And we always have a good time. Always got a lot to talk about. So it's always fun. And Law Tigers does a great service. So, you know,
They're
shout
for the
out.
rider. Not a
Yeah,
sponsor, but
not a sponsor at all, but maybe they will be. Maybe Jay will listen to this and they will be. Um, at any rate, yeah, man, just got set up. I didn't really get any displays out, got kind of the bones of everything set up. Um, logistics wise, it's a little tricky because I keep my pop up in the back of the truck, and I currently have our entire sand sports booth in the back of the truck also. So there's a lot of moving stuff around and coordinating, but man, we got her done and got her set up, and you know, Saturday morning, had dinner with the great Scotty Dubler. Friday night, we had a great time, man. We bench raced for 2 hours. It was just so much fun telling stories, and uh, man, it
How
would have
many
been.
how many cups of coffee did you go through?
I did. I went through 2 glasses of iced tea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean I know that's your staple, but I figured with 2 hours talking to Scotty, you would have drank the pot yourself. But hey, maybe you're grown up. I don't know.
No, I had coffee once I got back to the hotel.
There you go. That was your
So yeah,
nightcap.
yeah, I had 2 cups before I went to
And
bed.
did
So,
Scotty have a Dr. Pepper at least?
you know what? I don't think they had it. So
Surprised he ate there.
yeah, I know. I know. We forgot to check. So, um, but yeah, man, it was like uh, great times spent with him. I wish I'd had my voice recorder on the whole time because the energy level was, you know, off the chain. Just we had so much fun just bench racing, talking about stuff and talking about American flat track and race teams and you know,
Yeah, see,
uh,
dang it. Now I feel like missed opportunity there.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
although some of it was not
got to be off the record.
yeah, some of
Yeah.
it is not podcast rated. So, um, but it was just a great time. And of course, Saturday morning, I hit the Dunkin' next to the hotel and got the donuts for the team, for the setup crew. And shout out to the hammocks, Karen Todd, and then the two main staples of the build team, if you will. Uh, Dylan and Rico, my solid dudes, like little brothers to me, and just hardest working little sons of the guns. And it was so good. Kind of had the gang back together. We had Jack Jackson from Jack Jackson Photography there. Um, and so it was really nice to see everybody and get that group back together. And they really are family. I've traveled
Right.
with those
Yeah.
people for 5 years. So, um, and dude, yeah, it was just great. And I got to watch some of the practice. Um, Track was interesting setup. They did do the TP again.
I saw
Randy
that.
Pol- yeah, Randy Poulter built the track again, and you know, um, he did a great job. He fought multiple failing rental equipment issues, and but he got the track built, and yeah, it was cool, man. They came in uh, a long start for Endurocross, really.
Did it
It
have a
was all
log in the middle or anything, or is it just a flat start straight?
no, it was just I think it was just a flat start straight.
Hmm.
I don't think they ran into the log corner. I think they shortcut that right to the tire jump. Um, and then, the log corner, um, which provided a lot of entertainment. Um, and yeah, and then back through the rock garden. And it was interesting because the rock garden and the matrix, which for those of you who don't know what Endurocross is, um, Google it, look at the YouTube videos. Go check them out on Instagram at Endurocross because it's really hard to explain what the Matrix is and what the Rock Garden is.
But the whole track itself, I'll take a stab at it. It's like if you took the woods and a construction zone and threw it in an arena and said race
Yes, yeah, right. I mean, you had to race over all this stuff.
quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was um, a lot of interesting lines out of the log corner after the start tire jump. And several of the guys were actually just clutch popping and doubling the final two logs.
That's
which
pretty
was,
good.
yeah, it was pretty impressive to see. And I saw Webb do it a few times, and dude has incredible bike control.
Oh yeah, and he's
Um,
tall.
yeah, and Blazusiak tried it, I think, once, and like case a swing arm, and I didn't see him try it again. But Cooper Abbott, local Arizona boy, whoop whoop.
Yeah, hometown
Uh,
race, we'll call it.
yes, yeah, I got to see Destry for a minute,
Oh,
who
you
was
did?
here on episode just for a quick minute. Man, he was busy. Um, but Cooper was doing it really consistently. And I think a few of the guys just, Johnny Walker did it occasionally. But it was really interesting because the boulder section, instead of being conventional, if you could call it conventional boulder section,
Yeah, right.
uh, it was on a slope. So they angled the matrix. So the matrix, and there was a 180 uh, between the boulders and the matrix. So they went through the boulders into loader tires flat. So there's a lot of guys nose stuffing going over the bars right there. You made a 180, popped up over the giant fuel tank, and dropped right down into the matrix. And the matrix was angled the opposite direction. Um, so right side high. So I guess technically it would be the same direction because you're going the opposite direction. So it just added a lot of different character to it. And then they had the TP up. Um, and then of course a big tire jump double at the finish. So and in practice, I thought they were going to leave it, but they ended up filling it in. But in practice, when you came around from the tire jump finish around to the tire jump front stretch, if you will, there was a log in that corner, and it was sitting um, loose between two loader tires.
Okay. Okay.
So it was moving as you were trying to, like, you couldn't case over it because you couldn't time it because you case it and it moved forward.
So I wonder if they thought it was dangerous or if enough people just complained that it wasn't fun and they pulled it.
I don't know. That would have been a great question. I should have asked that, but they left it. They just ended up packing dirt under it
Hmm.
um, to keep it from moving. But I was like, wow, that's brilliant. Like
See, but like
that's
we always have this talk where it's different for the amateur guys, but the pro guys,
sure.
if they're uncomfortable, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
entertainment. As long as it's
yeah,
safe, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. And I don't really think it was a safety thing. Um, and maybe that's not, maybe it was designed to not move to begin with, and the dirt just wasn't packed hard enough or something. But I thought it was an awesome obstacle because you could really tell, you know, the riders from the drivers, right? Um, like the guys that wheelied up to it and just basically almost bunny hopped the rear tire off it. Um, were fine, but they were spitting it back the other direction. Keep in mind, I mean, you're talking about a log probably 12 or 14 inches in diameter sitting in tractor tires. So it can only move so much, you know. But it was enough that it was throwing guys off if they tried to bounce skid plate it, if you will, and rock over it. It was moving, so it was throwing their timing off, and they were coming off all ziggity zaggity and bad approach to the tires and stuff. It was
See,
cool.
that's fun. I feel like we have to add this to the echelon of Endurocross obstacles.
Yeah, I mean, a variable obstacle like that is a great idea.
Yes.
Um, Whether the riders liked it or not. I mean, and we've had this talk a lot about pro riders, whether it's Endurocross, Arena Cross, American Flat Track, MotoGP, you know, motocross, supercross, where it's like, they're like, nah, this is, you know, we don't want to do this type of deal. And it's like, well, okay. So it's like one of those things where I'm split, where I'm like, but it's your job, right?
And we're in
Uh,
the entertainment business at the end of the
yeah,
day.
yeah. And you're an alleged pro.
That's, of course, can't say it enough. It's got to be safe. But if it's safe and you just don't like it, all the more reason to keep it.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I mean, there's, you know, I've raced in situations where it wasn't safe, and but back then I didn't really care. Um, it wasn't like, oh, that's unsafe, someone's going to get hurt. You know, usually I I would find out the hard way. But if it's difficult or unpredictable, you know, um, it's kind of like racing in the rain. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I hated it. I managed it, but I hated it. I did okay at it, but I hated it.
Right.
And the thing with racing in the rain, dude, you have somebody. If somebody, let's say somebody scatters a motor, it's much easier to pick up an oil line on pavement than it is on a wet surface.
Yeah, that actually does make perfect sense.
Yeah, so on a wet surface, you never know. Like, I mean, I've lost front tire on a straight stretch before, just for
God, that would suck so
don't
bad.
don't ask me why. I don't know if it hydroplaned or whatever, but it was just gone. Whoop,
You
so
had it and then you didn't.
yeah, and then you're like, oh, splash, and then you're eating, for a week you're picking grass and mud out of your teeth. Um, so it's like it is what it is. But I agree with you. I think as long as it's safe, if it's challenging and the pros don't like it, run it. You know?
That's what I would say. It's easy for me to say in the peanut gallery over here, but I don't know. I watch a lot of racing, and it's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. So but anyways, um, yeah, man, once race night started, holy cow, and they've brought in the pit party, so early gate opening. Um They do not have the pit party on the track. They had it over, which was actually pretty smart, had it over by the merchandise booth, which was just down for me. So all the riders brought their bikes out there, and we're signing autographs and
Sweet.
all that. And that is required attendance for the top 12 riders in points, I believe.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just thinking out loud here, it's kind of something to strive for, right? Supercross, your top 10 are who get to do opening ceremonies. So that's sort of their, I don't know, something to strive for. Get your name and the sponsors sure aren't mad if you're out at the pit party, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just packs the place up, and it's great for the fans. It gives the fans a chance to see what else is set up in there, like come by the booth and all that. And of course, with me fighting sinuses and talking to so many people, um, between the pit party and then talking all night over the racing that was going on, on the other side of the grandstands, basically in the arena, um, and talking over the music, thus my voice, folks. So please be kind or don't, whatever. It's my podcast. Uh, but
Cyberbully.
yeah, but nah, it was a stellar night, man. Great. Prescott Valley has such a great off-roading culture up there. Um, is really, really, really full. I don't know that it was quite sold out, but it was busy, busy, busy. So, um, great night. I heard the racing was good. I got to watch um, basically the last two-thirds of Moto 2. But by the time I got there, it was hard to pick up who the leader was. And I didn't have my distance glasses. I did not have my prescription safety bomber eyewear. And so I could not read what was up on their little tiny um, mega jumbotron, which is a mini Tron
I'm
there.
sure
But
Scotty was trying to tell you, but it's loud. It's motorcycle racing inside.
yeah, it was really hard to um, hear. Of course, I was watching from like right, literally trackside because there was a track access, um, like a Zamboni access
Oh, sweet.
right across from my booth. So um, it was kind of cool. Close enough you could get dirt thrown on you. So it was pretty rad. Um, yeah, man. And then just, dude, just rocking good. Great, great show. And wrapped it up. And of course, it's live on MAV TV now. So, they've got to hit their marks and they got to be wrapped by 10. And I don't hate that because it gives the opportunity to get packed up. And I was actually back at the hotel almost in bed by 11.
Wow.
So,
Hey, you're hustling.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Now I didn't pack the trailer that night. I just packed everything down. Because I it with everything tear down going down and bike fence being moved and track tear down going down, it wasn't worth trying to get
Swim
stuff
upstream and
out. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, when I could go in at 7:30 in the morning and there would be nobody there to bother me. So yeah, man, just back to the hotel, hit the rack. So exciting, man. I didn't hardly sleep at all. Um, and yeah, that was how I celebrated my birthday. So working
Well,
eight
once
thirty
again,
to 11.
happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Glad you got to be with the traveling circus and have some good friends and family around you. See a little bit of racing. Man, so I guess they're already racing again this weekend, huh?
Yeah,
I know you're
Idaho
busy, but
Falls,
yeah, Idaho Falls. I like
double
Idaho
header.
Falls.
Yeah, yeah, I think they're doing a double header
They
up
are.
there.
Yep.
Actually,
Yep.
yeah.
You're right. 27th and 28th, Idaho Falls Endurocross. If you're in the Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada region, make sure to head out to Endurocross this weekend.
Yeah, go check them out. You will not be disappointed. It's a great show. So, yeah, man. Went in Sunday morning, slung everything in the old grinder and trailer, and just made my way home. And Viking was nice enough to take me out for a very fancy steak dinner that I enjoyed thoroughly.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
where'd you go?
Chagru's.
Okay,
Yeah,
not
so it
familiar,
was.
but sounds nice.
It's right on the channel.
Oh,
Um, so right by the London Bridge. So
ballin'.
we had a nice view of the channel and the bridge, and service was great. Food is always. I've never had a bad meal there. Their fillet is one of the best fillets I've ever had. So yeah, I was not disappointed at all. Um, and then, Monday morning, dude, guns blazing, getting ready for getting things logistically organized for the Formula One powerboat races this weekend, which I'll be rolling out to get set up tomorrow morning, which is nice. Little short drive for me. Um, and get the setup done. And then we'll be racing uh, Friday and Saturday. And I think they're going to race Sunday morning. I'll be packing up Sunday morning and heading for Vegas to meet up with the kicker team at SEMA. So pretty excited about SEMA. Last year I attended for a couple of days. And thank you so much, Team Kicker, for putting me up and taking care of all that. Um, Technically, I wasn't working, although you know me, I can't not work. So we had a great time, but it was the Vikings' first time to SEMA, so we did spend some walk around time, which was fantastic. I think in the 6 or 7 years that I've done SEMA, maybe 6 or 7 years, 8 years. So I think I've done it 6 times in 8 years, maybe. Um, Never really had, a lot of walk around time. So,
Yeah, and I hear it's so
um,
big it takes multiple days anyway
oh
to
yeah,
see all
yeah,
of it would take the whole week or whatever.
yeah. And honestly, I'm looking forward to working the booth.
Yeah, have a
I
home
just
base.
I really enjoy that. I enjoy the people. Um, we have a lot of fun. Hopefully, I can goad the guys into the push ups every morning again. We'll see how that goes. Um, but, the whole kicker team, J Dub and his team that's coming out, of course, it's a huge deal for kicker. They bring, tons and tons of people, engineers and all the sales staff and uh, usually all the distributors, firms in the country will have at least one rep there. And I really look forward to it because it's opportunity for me to see a lot of the dealers that
Hmm.
I work with at events. And so, it's a really, really cool. There's a
Coming
lot of great
together.
people. Yeah. Yeah. So, um, I'm hoping this podcast will be out early next week. And unfortunately we probably won't record next week. Just depends on the schedule availability, but we'll be back on it the week after for sure. But SEMA is a big deal, it's the
But it's
biggest.
like a week, right? Isn't it like
Yeah.
5 or 6 days?
The show starts Tuesday, I believe runs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, so it's actually not as long as I thought, but that's still a long ass time.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have set up Sunday, Monday, um, and then tear down Saturday, um, and pack up. And fortunately, all the display stuff um, ships in crates via a shipping company. So all we have to do is get it all back in the crates and get it lined
Nice.
out.
That's got to be
They have,
nice.
yeah, and they have people that take care of getting it to the loading dock and all that.
It's a whole organized circus orchestra Mombazo.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. If you ever get a chance to go to SEMA, go check it out. It is open to the public, I believe, on Fridays. Um, so it's definitely worth checking it out.
Yeah, someday
Uh,
I'll get there. Add it to the list of someday.
right? Yeah, one of these days, maybe I'll be able to have you as my guest.
That'd be fun. I just always, because it's Halloween weekend, such a big deal in the off-road world. It's so easy
Yes.
to forget about SEMA, and especially I've been with you where we've been at Camp Razor together, and then you've had to load up the trailer and wipe the car down to get to SEMA.
Yeah, I have done that a couple times. And at one point in time, I had a uh, completely unseen custom build that I spent, I think, 43 hours in 3 days building and had it in the trailer at Camp Razor with a cover on it
Yep.
so nobody could see it. Um, and then hauled it on to SEMA for the booth. So Yeah, it was crazy, man. Um, it's always, the SEMA grind, the SEMA crunch is real. And, I know people that are going to be there that will have vehicles there that are still, assembling vehicles. So,
Lots of Bluetooth drive shafts going in.
yeah, yeah. And explain what that is for
Oh, I'm
those
sorry.
people who don't know what a Bluetooth drive shaft is at SEMA.
This is not SEMA's fault, as I look directly at the camera. There are many manufacturers and many builders that come to SEMA, great and small, and not everybody gets their projects finished on time. So you will see a lot of cars missing crucial pieces like brake calipers, brake rotors, lug nuts, drive shafts. What am I missing?
Wiring
Windows, sometimes
harnesses.
wiring harnesses. You'll get a kick out of seeing a lot of cars getting towed out that shouldn't have to be towed out because they actually don't have a power plant inside of them. So once again, not SEMA's fault, but there's just a lot to see.
Yeah, and I know people are going, well, why? How could you How could you not finish your project? Um, SEMA is that big that custom builds are the norm there. They're the staple. Um, and everybody wants to throw out their biggest and best. And when you're shooting for the stars, sometimes you only hit the moon, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if we have to put a silver lining on this, maybe the product you're displaying has nothing to do with the rest of the performance of the vehicle. So maybe you can
Yeah,
get away with that. I don't know. I'm just being a nice guy.
you are. You are a nice guy for sure. And, four-wheel drive trucks don't really need front drive shafts or rear drive shafts.
But one shaft would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm super excited for that. And of course, the F1 powerboat races this weekend
That's going to
should
be
be
sweet.
should be pretty exciting. The weather's shaping up to be really nice. Winds are supposed to be down under 10, so that'll also be nice. And I always look forward to seeing my buddy Tim Siebold of F1 Powerboat World Championships fame, and also F1 Powerboat Hall of Famer. So super nice guy, super cool dude. I'll be hooking up with him tomorrow. And yeah, man, there's some busy times coming up, and dude, so excited. And I know
Yeah.
you've got a lot. We touched on this a little bit, I think, um, last week and the previous week when we were talking to Jessica, sorry,
Hmm.
and when we were talking to Scotty about your big upcoming team coordinator, crew chief role in the 24 hours of Glen Helen.
Yeah, and I
So
hope
fill
our
us in. Where are we at?
yeah, I hope our listeners are not getting sick of hearing about this, but it's the biggest thing I got going on. As of right now, we are 80% ready to go. We were recording on the Wednesday night before. The race starts Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Beautiful.
But just to quickly recap, we started with 6 riders, dropped down at one point to 2, got it back up to 4 with 2 other guys. And as of the time of this recording, we're back down to 2. So this has been kind of a logistical nightmare of sorts. We've had lights not show up, and I won't name the company because I really like that this American company still makes American products. But magically, it just showed up on the doorstep while we were starting to record this tonight. So there's been kind
Excellent.
kind of a few trials and tribulations to figure out. But if racing was easy, everybody would do it. It's been interesting because I feel and not in an egotistical way. I feel that I can bring an important role to this team because I've tried to put this program together before as a writer. I've been my own writer and coordinator for a long time.
Right.
And now that I'm not doing the writing duties, I think that I'm blessed to be in a position where I can be somebody who needs to be the voice in the middle of the night, or the calming factor, or someone who can clean goggles, someone who sticks a sandwich in your hand at 2 a.m, somebody who tells you, hey, you got to go sleep. Somebody who can, if there's a problem on the bike, I can be the calm guy. So it's nice that I'm not writing for the fact that I would be probably an egotistical nightmare, and I would be hot-headed, to where now I can kind of sit back into this new role of mine. And I really want to be the person that I would want as a writer to be there.
Well, that's really admirable, and the whole coordination thing. I mean, Herculean task, dude. You're like you're T-Rex in this thing as hard as you can, for sure. And it's I think they're very blessed. They should be very thankful to have someone with the background and the experience that you have. But like you said, there's a lot. And the more that you handle, of course, the less that your riders have to handle or have to worry about. And, but 24 hours, I mean, and this is your first 24-hour as a team coordinator / bike chief, crew chief, correct?
Yeah, and it's actually the first time I've ever gone, we'll call it competing or having any business there. The only other time I went was after Cody Hooper's wedding. Shout out to Cody. It was sort of on the way back from his LA wedding, so I grabbed a 6-pack of silver bullets, and I was still wearing a suit, and I hung out from midnight to 2 a.m. It was an awesome night. But yeah, just going down memory lane there. But yeah, this is
nice.
Kind of what you and I were talking about before we even started recording. I tried quite a few times to put something together to do this race before, and it's just hard because you're either older and have the money to do it, but you're older, or you're young and are passionate and on fire to do it, but you probably don't have the funds to do it. So I give all the admiration to Jake and Max for wanting to do this as young guys. They're the ones who started out with this thing committed and haven't wavered a bit. They've been calm, cool, collected. They've offered everything they can this entire time. So it's really cool to see these guys, like I said, never wavering. We've had people come in and out of this team, but the core group who wanted to do this have never faltered. And to be honest, we've done 6-hour races before, and I've done it with some other guys. And shout out to Chris Kuski and Tyler Fretwell and Kyle Pelgrim and these guys. When you're that age, dude, doing even 6 hours on one guy's bike, it's an argument, because not who has the money to be rebuilding these things after the 6-hour race, because you probably have a District 37 race the next week. So the fact that these two young guys are, hey, we can ride my bike for 24 hours and then we'll have mine as the backup, and I don't care if we ride it for 24 hours, and we'll spend the money on nice lights, and it's wild. It's like, to bring it all around, I feel lucky to be on the program with these guys who are passionate to go do it, because now I can experience it kind of from a different role.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really different, and I guess I'd just say welcome to the big show, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
It's that's crazy to think, and then the logistics. And the fact that you're going to have to be on your mental game logistically for 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm in uncharted territory here for myself.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, you just got me excited on this topic. My wife even said something about, like, well, when will you sleep? And I'm not trying to sound like a tough guy. I said, there's it's not in the program for me to sleep. It's not part of the deal, right?
Yeah.
And I should be inspired by my dad, who's done the 24 hours of Daytona and stuff on cruise. And he says, it's a 36-hour day because once the race is over, you got to pack up and get the hell out of there,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know it can be done, and I know it's in the genetics. So kind of banking on a good attitude and the will to be there to be awake. But yeah, I'm praying real hard and trying to stay real positive because I know that at some point I'm going to have to be the guy that still wants to be there and still wants to do it because I'm not the one
Right.
that's got to throw his leg over the bike.
Yeah. Well, and that brings me to another thing with let's say you aren't able to pull at least a third rider in or back. One of the guys that bailed, obviously the first group we've already talked about, their ship has sailed.
They're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. See ya, find a new ride. Um, but logistically, thinking about it for me, um, like the riders, and you're going to have to figure out how much rest time they need, how much time they can put on the bike, so like lap times, watching lap times and stuff like that. And that's going to be fluid as the day goes on and the night goes on.
It's going to have to change. It absolutely will.
Yeah. And I don't think it's, necessarily, they may start out going, hey, I want to do 2 hours to start with. And if, in your shoes, you may go, no, we need to save that energy for after 7 p.m. when it's dark. Let's just hit our marks, run this far, switch riders, and try and conserve so that we can put the push on in the last 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours.
For sure, when the sun's coming up and there's not one square edge on the track. And yeah, you bring up an excellent point, Lauren. Going from, as an amateur team, you can have up to 6 riders, and if you have 6 riders, you're basically gonna have guys that are bored or antsy to get on the bike or raring to go, having their turn. So worst case Ontario, let's say we're back down to 2 riders. I'm fully with you. I rider changes take time. They suck. It's kind of weird to get in and out of your groove, but I'm willing to take up time to look at the big picture. If I got to pull someone off the bike and say, no, you're done. Well, I still feel fresh. That's great. But I need you fresh for 20 more hours. So,
right.
Get your ass in that camp chair there. So it's tough. I know that both of those guys are in pretty good shape, and it sounds like Max is in extremely good shape as he just did Best in the Desert Ironman class at Laughlin and got second. So he's no slouch as an Ironman.
Excellent.
But 24 hours over 2 guys, you have, we'll call it 12 hours of racing in your body. You got to figure out.
Yeah. That's incredible. And I know you're going to have that talk with them prior, saying, look, if I say get off, we're switching riders. I mean, that's just, because someone has to be that voice of reason, right? Somebody has to be the coordinator. So.
Yeah. Sitting on the crow's nest and kind of looking at things mathematically and logistically. And, there's a possibility, but at this point, things, I don't want to say doom and gloom, but things seem so minuscule as far as the team goes that even if we have a third guy come up with the gear bag, that's going to feel so amazing to be like, oh my gosh, and we have a couple people that potentially could show up later in the day with a gear bag, and if that happens, it's going to be like, hallelujah, okay, we'll put the ringer out there. I'm going to make you go do 4 hours. We're going to fill up the spike twice and then you're done. So, so I'm kind of praying, kind of hoping that something like that comes along, or these guys can find their second wind when times seem tough and there's no breeze and the lights are just in the silt and you're hating life and hearing weird sounds on the bike that might not actually be there, and the cactus are dancing. So yeah, it's going to be an experience.
Yeah, for sure. And right up till you said you're just going to put that person on for 4 hours, I was thinking, well, if I'd grab my helmet, and my gear bag if I wasn't working this weekend, but
Yeah.
I don't want to do 4 hours. I couldn't do 4 hours. You'd need,
Even if you did a lap, I'd be great. Dude, I would just be so grateful to have you in the pits just to pick your brain live timing.
yeah, one of these times we'll have to do that. We'll have to get together, and I would love to be your assistant in the pits and just do whatever I can do to help the crew chief.
It'd be fun. Maybe next year program, I'd maybe not even this race because it's kind of a bad weekend for
Yeah,
industry stuff. But yeah, that would be super fun to have you there.
we'll definitely figure one out. We got to do it along with some other stuff that we've been talking about. We got to
Yep.
figure out how to make work for 2024.
How to put it on
So,
paper and make it a reality.
yep, absolutely. And speaking of that, if any of our listeners out there have any suggestions for um, active race program, maybe seeking some exposure and some help, and maybe has a second class 11, class 5, UTV, hit us up. Hit us up on Insta at AFTR_podcast. We'd be
Absolutely.
interested.
Yeah. We'd
So,
like to talk to you.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. Man, what else you got?
Just to put that in a nice, neat bow, I'd like to thank our friend Connor Cavert, who loaned me gas cans. And I know that sounds so silly, but we're figuring we're going to need a little over 30 gallons of fuel. And yeah, I only had 3 gas cans. So thank you, Connor, for loaning me your brand new Matrix gas cans that are like $40 a piece. I'll bring them back in better shape than you gave them to me. But yeah, just everybody I've asked for help on this program so far has been more than accommodating. So it's time to put it into action.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be getting updates, and Connor's a great dude.
He
And
is.
shout out, and just in case you hadn't thought about this, Connor rides.
Yeah, he rides very fast. I've never beat the man.
Just saying.
I don't want to say he sounded disinterested. At no point did he sound like he blended himself into this conversation. It was, what do you need these gas cans for? Okay, have fun with that.
Did you try guilt?
No, I didn't.
You should try guilt.
Because I'm already borrowing something. So like, oh, while I'm needing something, I need more things. So Connor, if you're listening, grab your gear bag. I could, even if you want to hang out in the pits, it'd be nice to have you around.
Yeah, it'd be rad. Dude, we are so blessed to be able to do what we do. Be it, racing, crew chiefing, events, being at races, hanging out with good friends, dipping our toes into something new. We're doing a podcast.
Doing it. Yeah.
I was looking at some stats, and I am not a stat guy when it comes to the podcast. I'm not the guy that's freaking out about numbers one way or the other. I just want to say I am completely blown away that we are, let me see, we started in what, July?
July.
Yeah, so August, September, and this is October. So we are basically 3 months into our second year, 3.5 months into our second year. And I haven't found a good way to track the streaming, but our download numbers people, thank you so much. Unbelievable. In the last 3-ish months, we have eclipsed almost what we did in the first like 9 months of last year. So thank you so much. Cole, give him the speech
Make sure to rate, review, subscribe on your favorite streaming platform.
and refer us to your friends, whether you like us or not.
And if you
They
got
might
something to
like
say,
us.
let us know. We'll have you on the show.
Yeah, hit us up.
We're a, what do they call that? Soapbox.
Yeah,
Got something to talk about?
Sort of. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. With
I mean-
that, one other thing I want to make a big point on that we forgot to do at the beginning of the show: the 2023 FIM World Rally Raid Championship Series has come to a close in the Rally du Maroc.
Very
Is that
nice.
right?
Rally du Maroc.
In Spain,
Morocco.
Morocco. Thank you. And your T3 world champion is none other than our boy Seth Quintero and his co-dog Dennis Zenz.
Yeah, and man, congratulations, Seth. What a battle it was to have three American guys all in contention to be the guy. So almost feel, well, not almost, feel very lucky that no matter what, we were going to have a friend of the show on top of that box. And I know that you and Seth go incredibly far back, and there's pictures to prove it that you've posted. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's amazing that somebody who's just a kid at a short course track could end up being a world champion in not too long of a time period.
Yeah, realistically, I mean, we're talking that was 8 years ago when I think he won his first works championship, or at least his first works championship for me, in a Razor 170, and I think he was 12.
So crazy.
He just turned 21. So yeah, it's just it's nuts to me. Low man 103, you will always be low man 103 to me. But on top of that, we did Americanize the entire podium, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, with Mitch Guthrie Jr., Kellen Walsh, team 2, and AJ Jones and jeez, I can't remember. I'm sorry. Taking the third step on the box. So great job, Team Red Bull Junior Off-Road USA, for kicking the crap out of everyone in the world on the World Rally Raid Championship and taking the top 3 spots.
Gustavo is AJ's co-driver. Gustavo. Shout out to Gustavo.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy to think that just a couple of 3 short months ago we had all three of those boys on the show.
All riffing with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a fun show.
Mitch is in traffic, and yeah, the camaraderie between those guys, it's so funny.
Yeah, and then you know, we had AJ just not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
And that was great. And he had great insight. You know, it's awesome to see these guys doing so well.
Oh yeah.
So very proud of all of them. Super proud of you, Seth. Great job. Mad Dog Love, throwing hearts like crazy. Yeah.
Oh, and on that topic, Mitch has a very good new vlog. If you're like me and watch hundreds of hours of YouTube while you work, check out Mitch Guthrie's vlogs. They're very good, especially if you're a race nerd like me. It shows his preseason testing, his qualifying, his shakedown, kind of behind the scenes of loading trailers, and follows the pit guys. Yeah, make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, I have subscribed. I've seen one. Um, and unfortunately for me, I don't have a lot of time to do that kind of stuff. Um, I'm still listening to last year's podcasts of us trying to get caught up. So, um, with that, we got some cool guests coming up that we will work on. Um, no promises that we will be recording from SEMA, but I'm hoping to get some sound bites. And with that, Cole, parting statements.
Parting statements released today. Ronnie Renner and Jeremy McGrath are teaming up for the
Yes.
2.4 hours of Les Mullets. Dude, Jeremy McGrath is such an iconic childhood hero. And Ronnie's Ronnie. So this is, I wish I could go put money on it in Vegas because those boys have my support.
Yeah, that's rad. Yeah, I saw that. That's going to be a crazy deal, and of course Black Rifle Coffee behind that, and of course with BRCC in there, you know that Travis Pastrana is going to be there. Of course, Blake Wilkie is a big driving force behind all that. Super exciting. Just real quick, speaking of Travis Pastrana, a special shout out. I don't know if he listens or not, to my buddy Scotty Miller. That would be at Scrub FMX. And if you have seen the most recent Nitro Circus video
so crazy
of, yeah, Superman seat grab on a Harley Sportster in an arena, that was my boy Scotty Miller. Look it up at Scrub FMX.
Dude, I thought it was so crazy when I saw him go ramp to ramp on a Sportster, and I sent it to you. I'm like, bro, look at this. And you go, yeah, I know him. Like, yeah. Oh, well, of course you do.
He's been practicing it a while, you know what? And great for him. Great for him. You know, how to expand. He found a niche on how to expand on the FMX and bring something new in that nobody's seen. So, you know, have guys jumped big bikes before? Absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, our boy Evil started it, right? And I'm sure there were guys before him, so don't get all hateful. But you know, nonetheless, jumping a Sportster in an arena and doing a Superman seat grab, where you basically completely let go of the bike in the air, grab the bike by the back fender, if you will, stretch out, and then pull the bike back under you or pull yourself back over the bike in the case of that heavy pig, and then land it and not die.
Jump a Sportster off a curb, you won't like it.
Yeah, no kidding. Your kidneys will hate you. So with that, man, oh man, but time flew. I think we're wrapped. Cole, you got anything else?
No, it's bedtime.
Nice. Cole, thank you so much. As always, thank you to our great partners, Kicker Performance Audio. Find them online, kicker.com, or on Instagram at Kicker Audio. Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear. Find them online at Bomber Eyewear or on Instagram at Bomber Eyewear. It's actually bombereyewear.com at bombereyewear.com. But anyways, you get it. Of course, the Premix podcast, I would be nowhere in this whole podcast world without Cole. And I love the fact that he is sharing his passion for all things desert racing through the lens of a camera. And he is one talented MC and announcer. He's booking now for 2024. Hit him at, slide into his DMs. It just sounds so dirty.
I think Speedway, you dirty-minded person.
There you go. At the Premix Podcast. That is the at symbol ThePremixPodcast on Instagram. course, Kelsey Morrell Film. Find her on Insta at Kelsey Morrell Film. If you need any TV or video work, still photos, or video production work, even audio production work, hit her up on Insta at Kelsey Morrell Film. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and YouTube podcasts at MAddOG'S Space Media. And none of that would be possible without the help of Kelsey Morrell Film and, of course, Hey Keeks Marketing. Hey Keeks Marketing has built all our new templates, is working through our website, MAddOG'S Garage, MAddOG'S.com. Check that out. We're getting it rebuilt and freshened up. And of course, October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ladies, please get a mammogram. Get them checked out. Take care of the tatas. Men, support your ladies' tatas. Give them a mammogram. No, seriously, encourage them to get checked out. And, for those of you who want to donate to the cause, the fight against breast cancer is far from over, and it needs fought. It has taken some dear friends to me, and I have been very miraculously blessed that some dear friends and family have been spared. So don't be afraid to kick down some ducats. And Cole, that website is
nationalbreastcancer.org. You can donate right on the website. It's the first thing you see. It's a secure donation. Give once, give monthly. Can help out. You can dedicate the donation to anybody else. You can actually designate it even to where it goes, whether it's the greatest need, screening, support, education. I believe it's even taxed. It is tax deductible, so make sure to check out nationalbreastcancer.org.
Yep. National Breast Cancer Foundation is one of the, if not the top rated charities for breast cancer awareness, with the maximum amount possible going to research, awareness, treatment, etc. Ladies, get them checked. Cole?
Lauren?
I didn't know if you had anything else.
No.
All right. That's a wrap. Mad Dog out.